Welcome to the Bernie Kosar Show with the Cleveland quarterback legend himself alongside the top dog, Hanford Dixon. It is so good to be back in studio. Guys, it is Victory Monday. How we feeling?
Loving Victory Monday. How about you, top dog?
Some people say I'm no good.
There he goes.
Crazy as can be. I get drunk in the morning. I get stoned in the afternoon. But I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, leave the short hair country boy alone. I could sing that because, boy, you talking about Victory Monday. The Browns put on a show yesterday.
I love that single. I wanted my barking, though. I got excited. Hey, how about it? I got a chance to win our back-to-back openers for the first time this century, man. How about it?
Boy, I tell you, it was just so exciting yesterday. The atmosphere just really, really got me going. I mean, you talking about a place that was rocking yesterday? It was rocking at the stadium. Yeah, you know, I was wondering when you guys was going to bring that up.
Right at the beginning.
I feel like you brought it up because you wanted us to go there. And listen, I was picking up what you were putting down.
Hey, let me tell you guys a quick story on that too. So, you know, I had this big bone in my hand, and that
surprise.
Yeah, and that drum. You know, they told me to just keep beating that thing until they tell me to stop, and here I am just whacking it. Wow. And I kept looking at them after about 5 times, and I'm saying, man, what, are they going to tell me to stop? Because you guys know, even though it was raining, misty a little bit, it was humid out there yesterday. And I had this long sleeve shirt on, and I was starting to sweat, and I was like, hey, man, I didn't work out today, but I'm still tired of beating this drum, but it was good.
Mr. Health and Wellness.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't beat anything like the excitement of the excitement of a home opener, the start of a season. Despite that terrible weather yesterday, the electricity in the air for Cleveland Browns Stadium, and to come out with a W like that, it's going to make for a fun show today.
You know what, guys? When I looked at it, though, when I came in the stadium, I mean, obviously the place was rocking, but I was shocked a little bit because I don't know why I'm surprised of this, because the Bengals is a team also from Ohio, and obviously down the road a little soft there, but it was so many Bengals fans all over the place. Did you guys notice that too?
So I wasn't at the game, but that checks out, though.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. They were all over the place, but that's all right. We sent them home.
We were louder, though. We sent them home, like you said. And it was a dominant win. It wasn't just like a little close one at the end. We actually own the Bengals.
Well, you know, I can't wait till we get into the discussion talking about this game, because I got a couple of questions I want to ask Bernie, especially when it pertains to Joe Burrow, because I'll save that. I'll save that. You know, I won't get into it. We'll get there. I'll save that right now. You know, we'll go into that.
Although I will say, watching the Jim Schwartz defense with that turn it loose defensive line makes me absolutely happy to be retired or be on this side of that equation.
All right, we'll get into it. Let's take our first break, and we'll be back with our opening drive.
I didn't know you had such a good voice. Hey.
Got no, I just went on.
All right, we're back. Welcome back to the Bernie Kosar Show. Okay, fellas, it's always a good day when we got Hanford singing first thing in studio. We got more where that came from, right?
If you ever again
look how serious
say the Bernie Kosar Show without saying Hanford Dixon,
with the top dog Hanford Dixon.
You and I gonna have a problem over there. You know how big an ego those defensive backs have. You don't believe me? Ask ask Denzel Ward, ask Greg Newsom, ask Emerson. Talk to those guys, and they'll tell you about that.
I just
No,
want to.
you're the core. You are the core part. I mean, no doubt. I ain't forget. Give me a high. Don't leave me hanging there, my man. Huh?
sorry,
You
I
know
didn't see you,
that.
big
I
dog.
just wanted to get you going, Hanford. That was all that was. He's keeping me on my toes.
My blood pressure rose.
Hey, your blood pressure rose like Joe Burrow's rose, and you know how much I love Joe Burrow, okay? But that pass rush yesterday, and I don't want to take anything away from the defense because that defense was better than spectacular yesterday. And I am not a quarterback apologist, but the game was slow for both quarterbacks early in the game. With a climate like that, that was a super challenging way early in the game to throw. It wasn't windy and stuff, but for the game, though, as the game kept going, for Joe Burrow really to not really make the adjustment or get to feel comfortable within his mechanics of throwing the ball, within his feeling comfortable with the wet ball, and then just the relentless pursuit and pressure that the Browns' defensive line put on him yesterday. I mean, for Joe Burrow to be 14 for 31, 82 yards by one of the top-tier quarterbacks in the NFL to come out. Yes, the weather was somewhat of a condition in that, but boy, for him to be shut down like that, hats off to the defense.
Hanford, you always say pressure.
You know, I don't care who the quarterback is.
Pressure makes a pipe burst.
Pressure would bust a pipe, and then whoever the quarterback is, you put enough pressure on him, he would turn into an average quarterback, regardless of how good he is, and that's what happened yesterday.
I mean, 6 first downs, 2 for 15 on third down conversions, 142 yards total offense. I mean, I love the weapons that the Bengals have, and for our defense to shut them down. I mean, Chase to have 5 catches for 39 yards. Again, the 6 first downs in the game, to have Mixon with 56 yards carrying. I mean, a complete total dominance like that, to have arguably one of the first or second, third best quarterbacks in the NFL be really defenseless.
Well, you know, that lead me to the question I was going to ask you, Bernie, right off the jump right here. I mean, obviously, when you look at a quarterback, we know what Joe Burrow is capable of. We know how good this guy really is. Obviously, they just gave him that huge contract, made him the highest paid player in the NFL, and a lot of that was guaranteed. We're talking about the Bengals gave him that money. But do you think, and I would think it would have to, you're talking about a guy that he missed pretty much all of training camp with that calf injury. You think maybe that had something to do with the way he performed, or are you worried about and are you worried about him coming back from this the rest of the season?
So it's absolutely an issue and a part of it. And if you really look at the Bengals the last couple of years, Joe Burrow last year did not play any in preseason. He was not hurt in preseason, yet the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow struggled mightily like they did yesterday in the first 2 games, just like they did last year. And Joe Burrow was healthy in training camp last year. So again, I'm going to say this in the spirit of levity as a wannabe humorist and stuff, but with my illustrious guy manning the boards back there and the spirit of poor betting and wanting to be a compliant person, the most secure bet in the world yesterday was the Cleveland Browns in going after Joe Burrow in that. When you saw the weather like that yesterday and in perfect conditions, knowing that Joe struggled and the Cincinnati Bengal offense in a great year like last year struggled the first couple games of the year, it was probably really going to statistically probably happen anyways. And now he was hurt, didn't have any training camp practice. He didn't throw, unlike the year before when he still struggled. So it was almost statistically not surprising that he struggled yesterday. And then you couple it with the bad weather. It made for a perfect storm for our Browns.
Yeah, why don't we talk about the bad weather a little bit? Because we're talking a lot about Joe Burrow, but I don't think Deshaun looked as tidy either out there, and the elements probably played a role. Bernie, when you're talking about gripping a football and it being rainy and things like that, how much does that really impact you out there?
It is torturous and to at times almost impossible to do. That's a really great question and stuff. some of the old school coaches, top dog, you remember Marty Schottenheimer. God, I could go back to Howard Stoneberger, Jimmy Johnson, Don Shula, Bill Belichick loved the wet ball practice. So you would do an inordinate amount of practicing with it, but there's no real substitute for it happening in the game and when it happens in the game like that. So typically, my best games, and I hate to say heck when I played, but because I was so slow.
Well, you did play now.
But when I played, it was so slow. That weather, for a DB, when it's raining like that, dog, you don't like to be the DB because of your footwork and stuff. So I lusted after rain just like that yesterday. Slow rain, deliberate rain, not windy at all. So I love that. Typically, that type of rain dissipates as the game goes on. Like some of the stuff I used to do, like my double overtime Jets or the Steeler games, and you have to get better throwing. Boy, yesterday it rained the whole damn game.
Yeah.
So it was miserable really the whole time. Nobody really got comfortable with it. But for Deshaun then, and for us to be leading, he didn't have to take as many chances as Joe Burrow did. Trying to come from behind.
Yeah, and also, too, I mean, obviously we had that great running attack with Nick Chubb. I mean, being able to just anytime he touched the ball, he's picking up 5, 6, 7, 8 yards a whop. And obviously that's going to help your quarterback out. But also...
Hey, as QBs do love a little 18 carries for 106 yards, a little 5.9 every time we give it to the man back there.
But you're talking about the weather. I mean, listening to the weather report, I don't think any of us expected the weather to be like it was.
It was supposed to be nice.
It was supposed to be nice.
It came from Florida.
But Gabby, I also saw Joe Burrows, and he hate to play with a glove on.
Right.
And parts during the game on his throwing hand, he was wearing a glove, and I know he really hated to do that.
They were making a big deal of
Yeah, no matter of fact, he started the game without the glove.
Yeah.
The first couple passes slipped. Heck, in the old days, the visiting team used to be at the mercy of us home guys actually doctoring up the football. So I actually had a flashback of a wet ball from a visiting team. And don't think that we had the advantage of home too much because they did it to us on the road too.
Hey.
But he did put the glove on after I think the second drive, and the gloves now do have stickum on them, but it didn't seem to really help them too much.
Now that we've had a lot of reactions ourselves, I say we bring in a fan reaction. We've got a special guest in studio.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Do we have to, Gabby?
Should we take a break first?
Do we have to? Let's take a break and
This is
and
your
get
show.
let's get
I don't wanna
let's
tease.
get ready for him.
All right,
Get
let's
JT ready. Let's get him ready.
Let's get JT ready.
Let's drive away over to a commercial, okay? And then
We gotta
we'll
drive
have our
over
buddy
there.
Gotta drive
Montrose
over.
drive us back in, okay?
Okay. All right, sure. All right, we are driving back in to the Bernie Kosar Show with who?
The
top
top
dog,
dog.
Hanford Dixon. Giving me a hard time today, per usual. That's my guy over there. Okay, we are bringing in JT, the owner of Montrose Auto Group. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no. Thanks for having me, guys. Hey, after what I saw yesterday, God, that was one heck of a great day to be a Browns fan. I can tell you that. It's been a long time coming.
Right.
I mean, we had that last year. We won the opener against the Panthers, but this year to see it in person at home and the energy in that stadium was absolutely electric.
How long did it take you to get home?
God, I think we got home. It was 6:30 by the time we got back down to that Medina-Akron area. It was a long time getting out of that traffic jam yesterday.
JT, watching the game, what impressed you most about that thing? Obviously, they played well in all phases. Offense, defense, and the kicking
and special teams.
3 for 3 on the
Hey, look, all three phases were impressive, but what really stood out was the way that pass rush got after it, the way that the defensive backfield was just everywhere and all over those top-tiered wide receivers that they've got. I mean, you look at T. Higgins, no catches yesterday. I got the guy on my fantasy team. I should have benched him. I don't know what I was thinking. With that defense that they've got back there, man, it was impressive. I mean, Jamar Chase, what did he have? A couple catches for just a few yards?
5 catches for 39.
Yeah, I mean, you shut down one of the best elite wide receivers in the entire league. God, it's just it's
And we
such a
didn't
great
even-
day.
We didn't even talk about how much smack he was dishing
Oh yeah.
before.
Well, we're getting to that because I love that
I
part.
know you love
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
big time.
Well, yeah, you and him don't like the elf.
JT, tell us a little something about Montrose Auto Group.
Well, we're a diverse brand auto group. So we've got Land Rover, Jaguar, Volvo. Ford is our flagship store down in Fairlawn. And then we've got a couple stores out in Ashtabula County, a Chevy GMC store, and then a Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram store. And then we're all the way out in your neck of the woods, out in Hermitage, PA. We've got a Nissan and GMC store. And then we got a Kia store out in Lorraine County, out in Sheffield Lake. So we're pretty much everywhere in Northeast Ohio, and been that way since 40 years in April of
Awesome.
1983.
Okay.
So
Well, 40 year. I'm partial to the 40-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I spent this weekend with the national championship, our Hurricane guys.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that. And I'm thinking of big dog travel now with Montrose here. So I like that.
that.
Big dog travel in Montrose. Yeah,
I like that. That's pretty smooth.
Yeah, you can do that, huh? For all your travel destinations, huh?
Yep.
Right. And I must have not got the ticket. I didn't make the game yesterday. My Montrose pickup wasn't there. I got caught in traffic, huh?
We can arrange something for you next home
I
game.
got your number now.
Yeah,
Now
you
I
got
know
the
how to
number
get
now,
there.
Bern.
JT, are you a big tailgater at all?
I tailgated a little bit prior to the game, and we got in there right when the doors opened, about 11 a.m. So
Okay, cool.
we got in there kind of early with the way that weather was yesterday. It was a little bit. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the poncho. I didn't have a jacket or anything. I checked the weather the night before. It looked like it was going to be about 73 and overcast, no rain. Well, the rain never stopped. So today would have been a great day for a game.
Guys,
75 and 80.
I have to say this. I can't believe it. I'm at the stadium yesterday, and I normally make my rounds, but never in a million years did I ever get to the this section or this. What was it called? What was that?
We were in the draft room.
The draft room. Never do I go in the draft room. So some tell me to go in the draft room.
The draft room at the stadium?
Yeah, so I walk in the draft room and I said, okay, I'm gonna have a pop. So I go there and I sit there having a pop, and guess who I see in the draft room, in the draft house?
Yep.
My
It was
man
me.
JT is and I'm telling you, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Did I?
No, I didn't call you.
Right?
Nope.
I had no idea he was in there, and so I got a chance to see.
Jesus, my ego hurt, man. I hang out, make one bad bet. I don't even know there's a draft room, okay? Jesus. Trying to raise money for you, Matter, and charity.
Right.
I get to put in timeout.
I will tell you, it was a lot of fun sitting there having a pop with you.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, did Hanford ask you to get him a cold Diet Coke?
A cold Diet Coke,
Did
exactly.
he look you square in the eyes and say, "This isn't cold enough"?
You see all the heat I take around
I
here.
see it. I see it.
They just her and Bernie, they just beat up on me, and then sometimes Dave would jump in, and I just can't win,
Well, when you're the top dog, hey,
He
you
can
got to take
handle
it. You can handle it.
Get it?
We have thick skin these days, huh?
Top dog, you should tell us about the defense and do a little comparison here. What was different for you about our defense watching them yesterday compared to last year?
Gab, I'm glad you asked because I have to say this. The whole thing started during the week, and we're talking about Chase. And Chase came in there, and I'm telling you guys, he gave the Browns some bulletin board material. He
Yes,
just
he did.
he just wanted to. I think he made a statement, and one of the statements that really got me mad. He said, "I don't care who's covering me, they're gonna get it." Talking about that's a shot at those defensive backs. You're talking about Denzel Ward, and I knew when Denzel Ward saw that.
Denzel stepped up, man.
He was coming off.
He came off yesterday.
He was coming off of the concussion protocol right away. After
he was
hearing
ready.
that. And I know Greg Newsome. I know he was ready. I know Emerson. You could tell those guys were ready to go. And I'll tell you, they stood up to the challenge. I mean, they were up for the challenge. I mean, they went in there and they shut those guys out I mean, they just played a phenomenal ball.
I mean, Denzel
And
shut
they
him
let
down.
him know it after. That was the
Yeah.
first thing I think Greg and
Oh, yeah.
everybody tweeted. Cleveland is
Yep.
Cleveland.
Right. Well, what you have to do, though, you have to give, and I agree with you guys, you have to give a lot of credit to Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator. I mean, his style of play and what he did, he really turned those guys loose, especially on that defensive line. You got Za'Darius and Myles Garrett. And I'm talking about, we only had 2 sacks yesterday, but guys, look at these numbers. Quarterback hits yesterday, 10.
Wow.
10 quarterback hits, and obviously 2 sacks yesterday. And the great thing about it, only allowed 3 points. That's what I like. And that's what Schwartz was talking about going into the game. He said, one thing we have to do in order to win this ball game and win most of our ball games, don't allow many points, and also put the offense in a great position, meaning getting some turnovers. And I tell you, they played a great ball game
What
yesterday.
do you think was the difference? Are we just more prepared? I mean, how do you? Because we've had the talent. In
They
years
look.
past.
It looks Jim Schwartz / Belichick defense, which is where his core roots come from, is really stemmed in the spirit of real disciplined, structured defense, and bend but don't break, and then getting people in front of you and relentless attack. And that relentless attack yesterday. Lots was talked about the pass rush, and we're talking about the corners. Man, the safeties, Grant Delpit, 7 solo tackles, 8 tackles. You mentioned Greg Newsome with 5 tackles, 4 solo yesterday. So much was put on what's going to be with the linebackers, but in a Schwartz defense, that defensive line and that back end secondary really do a lot of the pressure and tackling, and you really saw all 3 elements of the defense playing in harmony together.
Well, you know what, guys, I was a little worried too, especially on that back end, because going into the ball game, we didn't know that Juan Thornhill was not going to play in this ball game, and he he didn't play, and then McLeod had to step in there, and obviously wasn't too worried about him. I guess not, because you're talking about a 12-year veteran. This guy has been around. He's pretty much seen it all. But these guys, I mean, they were all over the place. They were covering. They were knocking down balls. They were defending. They were making good tackles. And, every time Denzel Ward make a tackle, JT, we all kind of freeze a little bit because
you hold your breath.
We
hold your breath a little bit.
We kind of hold our breath a little bit because
he's been injury prone.
I want to get him on. I want to get him on my wellness program. I did that as just natural. I grab the back of my neck where a lot of those concussion stuff come from. And I'm grabbing my patch. I wear this LifeWave patch that's helping with dead and dormant stem cells. And you're right. When you see younger guys like that are kind of prone to having that. And I know once you've had 1 concussion, 2 concussions, the subsequent ones come easier. And it was super nice to see Denzel not only playing like that yesterday. You could see he wasn't even thinking about the possibility of getting hurt, or at least he masked it with his performance, because right off the bat in the first quarter, he was making tackles where he's putting his head and shoulders right in there. And for young kids, careful with putting your head in first.
And on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, these guys, they played confident, and that was great to see. That was the one difference from last year to this year. They knew where to go, and they played with a lot of confidence. It was great to be a fan.
How about on the flip side? Anybody on offense who stood out to you?
Oh, God, Nick Chubb. I mean, all day that man,
Chubb.
5.5, 6 yards per carry. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to stop that man. He just looks like a man amongst boys,
a beast
at times, and the way that offensive line just parted the Red Sea for him yesterday was great.
I don't even think he's real. I think he's like an AI generated thing anymore. We're so unfazed by how great he is, but that's a good point. I mean, obviously, Chubb is always going to be our shining star.
His stability that he brings into the team, and almost when you have a bad weather game like that, and you have both quarterbacks needing some time to happen to get comfortable filling their way into the passing game, and then defensively again, how we played yesterday, having Nick Chubb, like after the Ford fumble, giving away stuff like that, to be able to not buckle under that pressure and be able to withstand those type of mistakes was pretty impressive.
They just look confident all the way around. Offense, defense, special teams. They look like a big boy team. They were professional yesterday in every aspect. It was awesome to see.
What are you predicting for the weeks to come, JT?
Ooh, predictions. Well, you never know in the game of football.
We're going to do more of that when we
next
get back,
Monday night's going to be a lot of fun. That bitter rivalry that you guys know all too well, and us fans, we know all too well. And it was great to see them get dominated yesterday by the 49ers.
Yes.
So that was it's going to be fun next week.
JT, real quick, Kia has stepped up their game, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the past 5-6 years, man, they're an impressive vehicle. A lot of bang for the buck, I can tell you that. They have affordable leases, and they've got the cars. So they're fantastic.
We appreciate you being in studio
Oh, thanks
today.
for having me, guys. This is a lot of fun.
Big dog.
Yes,
You
sir.
matter. You matter, brother.
We'll take a short break. We'll be back right after this.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, good stuff, bro. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
They have stepped up their game. They're nice, but
Hey, think about that thing with
All right.
So what are we what's our call on this? Okay. Oh, wait. We got this week, Steelers.
All right. We're back with the Bernie Kosar Show, the top dog, Hanford Dixon. We're going to look ahead. We were just talking about the Steelers as JT was with us here. Big loss for them yesterday. 30-7, I think the final score was. They got their butts kicked by the 49ers. And, we can talk a little bit about Kenny Pickett, what you think of him.
Well, I'll tell you, I say this joke a lot that how you feel on Monday is directly correlated to what happens to you on Sunday between 1 and 4 o'clock. Our awesome Cleveland Browns, we were here yesterday at 1 o'clock at home. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at the same thing. They were at home at 1 o'clock. In Pittsburgh against the 49ers. And our Monday feelings are completely the antithesis of each other today. So awesome to be feeling like we do here in Cleveland, going to Pittsburgh on Monday Night TV for a chance to be 2-0 for the first time since 1993, back in the day and stuff. But Pittsburgh, though, not that only did they just lose yesterday, it was a beatdown. And for an opener like that, I mean, it's as good as we feel today about the possibilities of this week and this season. The antithesis is going through the Steelers right now. And this is a game and a type of teams, I think, where your season could go on the brink. Now, these guys have one of the great coaches in Coach Mike Tomlin. So I don't think he's going to allow this Pittsburgh Steelers team to cash it in this early in the year.
Guys, that's what really scared me about this ball game because I don't know whether we should be happy they lost like that or whether because you hit it right.
You're
on the
right
head.
on it,
They have a good coach. I mean, obviously we know they have a great football coach, and these guys are going to come out and they're going to be ready to go. I mean, I was shocked though, Gabby, you guys. I was shocked to see Pickett because I thought this team was going to be, I thought all 4 teams in the AFC North were going to be, and they still could be all good, but I was shocked when Pittsburgh got manhandled the way they got manhandled in that ball game. So I don't know how I feel about us having to go into their stadium and play them on Monday night. It is not going to be easy, but you're right. I'm just really, really excited about the opportunity or possibility of us being 2-0.
Yeah.
In the AFC North now, that means a lot. This is another divisional game, and it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing works and how it come out.
It's funny. It's Hanford. It's like you and me prepared for our awesome listeners and viewers out there. to act like we did a production pregame meeting and stuff. But you could see why, and I'm not trying to pub us and or ex-players and stuff that really have a kind of a gift or a love still for football and stuff. Man, you hit it right on. So many people, it's easy to just sit here and say, oh, the Steelers suck. They're terrible. We played so great, and we're going to go crush them on Monday Night TV. I really challenge the younger players to literally listen to the wise words that Top Dog is saying right there that I'm trying to articulate out myself. This team and the pros, we all have our pride, or we won't hang out. You don't get to stay in this league if you don't have self-respect and pride. You don't have beatdowns in your own house and live to play very long in this league unless you could rectify that. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do everything possible to rectify that complete embarrassment that they had yesterday. So as younger guys, we got to really be ready, because this is a chance, just like we were joking about last year. We had the alumni weekend after the first win, or maybe 2 years ago, and we had a chance to go 2-0, and we started feeling good about ourselves. Man, we had the first half great against the Jets last year, and then all of a sudden you get a little bit of lack of focus, a little bit gets away from you, and a game you should win gets away from you. Instead of being 2-0, you're 1-1, and you don't have that positive vibe. We got a chance to really get a positive vibe, but let's not take these guys for granted.
Guys, speaking of that that Pittsburgh game coming up Monday night, obviously you guys know we lost Jack Conklin on that offensive line. He's gone for the year, so for the season he won't be. But did you see that?
Juwan was impressive, big dog, two big dogs.
We can't miss him. Can we? I mean, is he big enough over there?
Yeah. Hey, for a rook to come in and to see what people were saying about him pre-training camp, and then to see him actually on the field, I hate seeing Jack Conklin go down like that. I'm just sick to see that face and to know what the ramifications, the rehab is going to be, and hopefully that's not career-ending at this age and stuff. But, man, for Juwan to come in there and dominate in a game like that, to show some special gifts, I mean, that's Coach Callahan, and what he does is he's a Hall of Famer coach. There's no question about it. But what he's able to do now with that young man yesterday was pretty impressive.
Well, Bernie, I'll say this really quick. You know, it's not like it used to be. I mean, with technology and how far they've come as far as surgeries right now, they'll go in there and they'll fix that thing and they'll have him back in no time.
You think so?
I think so. Not this season, though. Not this year. I don't think he'll be back this year.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that.
He needs my IVs.
Hey,
he needs
Gabby thought I was saying he's going to be back this year. She was looking at me like I was crazy over here.
What do you know that I don't know? Right. I love that. I love that for us. Hey, guys. Okay, so Kenny Pickett, he did struggle a little bit yesterday. 5 sacks he took. And then, let's see, I'm looking at his stats now. 31 for 46.
232.
Yeah, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. What is our defense? I mean, obviously our defense, we've been talking about it, looked pretty good yesterday. So we got to do copy and paste. What's our plan of action for him?
Well, almost like I'm more concerned with the Browns and the Steelers, but almost when I saw some of the Steeler games yesterday, it reminded me of I saw some of the highlights of the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. Kenny Pickett was under massive duress yesterday in the pressure that the 49ers' awesome defensive line got against him, just like Justin Fields didn't have a chance in Chicago. If our pass rush gets after it like they got after Joe Burrow, it's going to be a torturously tough day for Kenny Pickett. I'm not sure any QB can play good under that type of duress. And that D-line of ours, if we could have a pass rush like this past week, that's the type of stuff we want to do to make sure his confidence and his belief in himself stays low.
Well, you guys think about this, and we'll get into this next. I want to ask you guys, what teams yesterday, or if there was a team that surprised you guys with their performance yesterday?
Okay. Before we get to that, Hanford, how do you think our DBs line up against the Steelers' wide receivers?
I think very, very well. I think our DBs line up well against anybody we play because we just have we're just so deep back in the secondary that these guys, I tell you, they could just line up anybody. Because, see, not only do we have we have 3 good corners, I think, that can start for anyone. I mean, they can start for anyone. And then we also, the kid we just drafted out of Northwestern, I mean, obviously, he's...
We had good depth there, right?
Yeah, he's number 4. You know, a little bit concerned with the safety right now that hopefully Juan is not going to be gone for a long, long time. But we have a lot of they're powerful back there.
You're confident.
I mean, as fired up as I am and high on the Cincinnati Bengals receivers and the shutdown that our defense and DBs put on them, I really like Robinson, Johnson, and I love George Pickens for the Steelers and stuff, but that's a good trio that I just named, but that's not the trio that the Bengals have, and we did a shutdown on them. So I like Kenny Pickett, but Kenny Pickett's a nice quarterback, but he's not in the Joe Burrow level.
Correct.
So, if our defense plays and we look at this game with the intensity that we looked at the Bengals game, this could be a really positive start to our NFL season.
I know we have to go to a break, but Joe Burrows, I mean, I was sitting there yesterday. I was in the tunnel, and when they got off the bus and they were all walking, and Joe is walking through, so cool. And then I saw Chase come through. I had no idea Chase was as big as he is, guys.
Yeah, Chase got size.
I had no idea, Gabby. I had no idea. Yeah, he's a big dude. I mean, wide receiver that big. But Gabby, if I was playing against him, I'd be in his chest.
Mic drop right there, Hanford. We're gonna hit our last break here, and we'll be right back after this. That's funny. So this is
So who we got? Who are you? Where they at?
Okay, we are back. The Bernie Kosar Show with the top dog, Hanford Dixon. We're going to talk a little bit about our big play bets. We'll look ahead to some of the games coming up here. And I know you guys made a friendly rivalry of this last season. Who would be right on?
Oh, that's right. This is Alumni Week. This is why I'm available on Monday nights.
I knew that was coming.
I see. That's on the teleprompt. Dude, that is right. That's how this is emotional. Am I allowed to talk about this?
We are.
Can you be fired twice? Our coaches did used to say every season starts anew.
Oh my goodness. Hey, that's Dave's fault, man.
I digress.
Bernie,
this is only a 6-minute segment, Gab.
Well, you take the whole thing over. This is my favorite part.
Hey, Gab.
It used to be mine till I lost the bet.
Gab, you and I, we tried to save him. That was Dave, So, right, Gab?
Hey, listen, I don't know your business agreement.
See, why don't you just go along with it, Gab?
Because I know you want to point the finger at me.
Yeah. I'm just trying to raise money for my foundation. You matter, okay? Yes. And actually, the spirit of levity and stuff for this. So last year when we did this, we were trying to raise money for charity and stuff. And I'm so proud of kind of the health and wellness journey that I've been on. That for the last 5 years, I haven't had to do any pills or any medications, and really no drinking and stuff. And then when we did that bet to raise money for charity and awareness, people said, "Are you back on drugs?" Nobody takes the Browns at Pittsburgh in week 17 like that. So that was the spirit of raising money for charity.
You were betting with, as you say, heart, emotional, betting with our heart, which we won't do.
Well,
anymore.
let's get it on. I want to.
Okay,
see what
let's look at these bets coming up here. Thursday night football, Vikings plus 7.5 at Eagles. Any thoughts?
Ooh.
I enjoyed. I'll tell you, from our Cleveland perspective, how about a little shout out to Baker Mayfield beating the Vikings yesterday at the Vikings, 0-1, and Vikings being 0-1 and going to Philadelphia. that 7.5 points looks good for Philly to kind of wipe them out. Philly won their game, but Philly's a different defense than last year. They lost some of their D tackles. They lost some of their secondary guys. And I'm just a big believer in, as pros, we don't want to be 0-2.
Right.
And the Vikings let a game get away from them. That's a lot. So I like Kirk Cousins. I was into that Netflix documentary Quarterback, so I'm all in on his preparation and commitment level. As much as I love Jalen Hurts, I'm going for you, Kirk.
I heard that was a really good documentary. I didn't
Yeah, it's
get
worth
to see it.
young QBs. Watch it out there. There's how he prepares is how you guys want to prepare.
I have to watch it too. I didn't see it. I heard it was good also, but I'm gonna go with those Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts. I mean, he went to University of Alabama, didn't he? Yeah. Okay. No.
We haven't been hitting the head too much on that one. Doug.
Don't even talk about Nick Saban in Alabama this week. Okay, we'll leave that one alone. But Gab, I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I think as the season goes, they're gonna get stronger. They're gonna get better, and I think they'll be okay.
Okay, boys.
Hey, you slipped out a little Alabama, don't go there stuff. Is that why Marquise Goodwin and Eric Metcalf were so excited last night? Hey, what a weekend. The Browns won. The Canes won.
Yep.
My Cowboys won on the 30th anniversary of the Super Bowl. And the Dolphins won, my last team. So.
Hey, speaking of the Dolphins, Sunday Night Football, Dolphins -2.5 at Patriots.
That's why I did that, to transition you into that.
Perfect.
For you.
I like what you did there.
You got two of my old coaches.
Well, Tua had a big game. I mean, only threw for almost 500 yards, and obviously he's got that little cheetah running around out there. I think Miami is strong, and not only did they play well on offense, they play well on defense. So I'm going to go. I think the Dolphins will be okay there.
I tell you, I love Tua. I love what they did yesterday. Mike McDaniels, I got to know him a little bit in his Cleveland days here. Being down at Miami and the University of Miami, there's some overlap with stuff there. I love how they played yesterday. To come out and play like that, I was surprised at really how good Bill Belichick and the Patriots played. Coming back, I mean, they were down like 16-0 to come back and make plays like that and make it a game and really have a chance to win. This is a big game for both teams. I'm rooting for the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Browns -1.5 at Steelers.
So does this mean I officially am done for the season after I make this bet? Like,
No, we're
do I just
chatting
go
about
for it?
We're just chatting about it,
go?
but if you want to go for it, we'll have another rally.
I had a sponsorship there for it.
Yeah.
I'm all in on our Browns. This is it. I want to be 2-0. You know, they say it in jokes and stuff. This is a chance to make sure we're not the same old Browns. The Steelers are doubting themselves. We talked about Mike Tomlin. He's going to have them ready. But even though they're going to be ready, that crowd's going to have them ready. Mike Tyson used to say, you don't know how you're going to respond until you get punched in the mouth the first time. You get those guys hitting you, I think we're going to slow them down.
It's too early for me to call this one. I'll hold off on this one a little bit.
Wow.
It's too early.
All right, Hanford, with that, we're going to take our final break of the show. We'll be back with our 2-minute warning after this.
That was good, man. Actually, I almost swore. I should have said that. Is that so funny what I'm saying?
Well, Big Dog was
Big Dog embrace it.
Big Dog was over there wrapping us up. Yeah. How long is this next segment? 4 minutes. Is this?
Who do we got after?
Welcome back to the Bernie Kosar Show with the top dog, Hanford Dixon. My two favorite guys, honestly.
And if not, we'd remind you.
Yeah.
I know it. It's good to be back. Just giving everybody. I expected nothing less than all the roasting that has gone down today.
Hey, Bernie, do you see? Do you get a chance to? I'm sure you do. See Gabby and all the little commercials and all the things.
Hey, our ego. We used to think we were cool. We used to think we were popular. Like we're the stepchildren here. Like, thank you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today. I'm so honored to be hanging. I flip on the TV, we see you. The radio, we see you.
yes.
Everywhere, huh?
Well, I know her.
Oh, man.
She's pretty cool, you know.
I didn't pay them anything to say that.
We're our marketing reps. Okay?
That's right.
And your
right.
personal protectors.
That's right.
okay?
That's right. That's right.
I appreciate you guys. Anything you want to wrap with on maybe health and wellness?
Well, you know what? The health and wellness, to be able to feel good and stuff. But just as we're joking back and forth in the last segment, I joked in a previous segment about how our feelings on Monday and through the course of the week are directly correlated to what happens on Sunday between 1 and 4 o'clock. Okay, yes, it's Steeler week. Yes, football is starting. So absolutely that in itself makes us in a excited, somewhat jovial mood. But also the fact that we're 1-0, we have a chance to be 2-0. I mean, this is why we play the game. This is why we're kind of Browns fans. So it's the stuff that I think makes the game special.
I can't get over Chase. I mean, he act like this was not a big game.
He can't get over that smack.
Well, he act like it.
We have a hard time leaving stuff behind us.
He act
took
like
that
it.
personally.
Well, he act like it wasn't a big game. I mean, obviously, anytime you're playing a team in your division, it's a big game. And still after the game, his comments still played it down. So. We have another one coming up this week, and it is a rivalry, talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, obviously, I wish we were playing them here this early in the season, but that's okay. We'll go into almost.
I still call Three Rivers.
I was headed there, and I caught myself, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going into Pittsburgh to play them, so it's going to be.
What do they call it? That was the mustard place, and then it was.
Yeah, what is it? Is it a long name?
It's gonna be an interesting game, and obviously it's going to be a hard-hitting game. So I want to see how our team we're going to respond during this ball game, and I think we'll be okay because I like our offense right now. We're clicking with Chubb running the ball, and our defense. You talked about it. Our new defensive coordinator. He's got those guys believing, and let's see what happens this week.
Hey, I was thinking we are going to Pittsburgh to play. A buddy of mine was working in the cement industry, and he's doing the foundation of the new Steelers stadium. And he put a 19 Kosar jersey in there. So hopefully that'll bring good luck for us. Bring us good luck on Monday nights. And I hope he doesn't get fired for that, okay? If I'm not supposed to tell that story, I apologize, brother. So I love you, and you do matter, okay, for doing that.
Great show, team. Good to be back.
It's awesome to be back. Hey, one last thing as we do finish. Last Thursday was International Overdose Awareness Day. The month of September is Suicide Prevention Month. I'm proud to not be a statistic in either one of those categories. So keep following my health and wellness journey. God bless you. You matter.